Hey everyone, what's up? How y'all doing today? So, as the last video sort of established, I'm a Star Wars fan, obviously. But there have been other franchises I've been delving into, in case you haven't noticed on my channel to some degree. One of which was, or rather is, Warhammer 40k. Also, I'm into Warhammer Fantasy, but that's another thing in and of itself. So, a lot of people more or less seem to get kind of intimidated when it comes to Warhammer 40k. And we'll just call it 40k from here on out. In a sense, maybe because they obviously don't know where to start. Do they go with the tabletop games, or do they go with the video games? Or do they watch any lore videos? Like, what exactly are these army codices? That sort of thing. Well, I just want to point out here that this is going to be a bit of an easy guide for those of you who want to go into Warhammer 40k. Again, just calling it 40k from now on. We want to go and delve into 40k effectively, which allows you to more or less find out what your niche is. Now, I want to make it very clear here that I am not into the tabletop game. I've read some of the codices in terms of Warhammer Fantasy, but beyond that, I haven't really delved too much into it. But what I have done is I've watched like a lot of videos on the topic here, a lot of channels. One of which I think would be probably a good idea to check out is Luton09 or MajorKill. MajorKill is more on the sort of comedic end and presentation, but he's pretty good. There's also 40k Theories, along with a number of other areas. Now, these particular channels I primarily recommend for either beginners or for people who are more in the intermediate sense, who can kind of look into some of these other channels, like MajorKill and 40k Theories, which would then say, okay, I can kind of grasp a lot of this pretty easily. What's something more to bite on? That's where Luton09 comes in. That's Luetin09. Or rather 09, I should say. So yeah, 09. So the entire repertoire of what I'm trying to say here is that these channels will get you indicated and inducted into the lore. And what this will allow you to do is, well, figure out where it is you want to go from there. Do you just want to stay with the lore and the stories in and of themselves, or do you want to go into the novels? Which, by the way, novels are pretty good. Haven't really read any of the 40k stuff again. You know, I'm not really that into 40k until they come out with Total War 40k. That's another game, by the way, that might be coming out. I think it probably will be, but I don't know. There's some speculation on that side. But there's also Total War Warhammer for those of you who want to go into the fantasy bit. Again, completely, that's why I got started in fantasy. And if you want to know what Warhammer Fantasy is, just go to that and you will pretty much get an idea on that part. And I recommend doing that rather than playing the tabletops because they're expensive as fuck. And they're more or less effectively just really too much of a time sink for me. The games are actually much better. And they're kind of a time sink too, but they're easier to sort of delve into. That said here, the novels are where you probably want to get a lot of entertainment from and a lot of mileage on them. The other parts, again, are other video games. That's one which I tend to delve into. For 40k, I would recommend the newest Space Marine 2 that came out, or Space Marine 1 if you want to just, get an intermediate start. Then you also have 40k Mechanicus, for those of you who are more interested in turn-based strategy type of games. Then you have 40k Bolt Gun. Yeah. And for the record, I'm just saying 40k rather than Warhammer 40k, so it's a little bit less yieldy. Or less wieldy, sorry. But those are what I would recommend to you on the offset. There are other 40k games which you could probably find out if you just type up 40k video games, and they're pretty good, really. In fact, I actually recommend you spend your time in that part of the area rather than anything else. You may have heard about this thing called Warhammer Plus. I haven't really bothered looking into it too much because from what I've seen, it's fairly bare bones. It still is in a lot of senses. You only get like one animation per month, I've heard. At least last I've heard. Again, it's been like about 2 years. They may have developed it a little bit more beyond that. But at the time, it was a joke. It was not worth investing in. I'm pretty sure it's probably still not worth investing in. But yeah, I just wanted to throw this up as a little bit of a guide just to show you more or less that you can come here for stuff like this or for trivia like this. Um, I'm looking to get my computer back, and I'm hoping to be able to do more um, playthroughs, more live playthroughs of some of these 40K games, along with a few Star Wars games. I had a bit of an idea here. So, anyways, if you like this list, if you like this explanation, if it was clear, concise, to the point, just let me know, drop a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Peace.